We also caught up with Kings of the Sun, who are incidentally managed by the same chap as Madonna, Freddie DeMann. The raves on Kings of the Sun are fantastic. As you know, they're basing themselves in LA at the moment, and they recently played Whiskey A Go-Go, the famous old whiskey on Sunset Boulevard. And one critic commented that it was the wildest show the place had seen since the days of Jim Morrison. So there you go. Caught up with Jeff and Cliff, the two main men from Kings of the Sun.
Keeping your own identity is difficult in a market where there are literally hundreds of bands competing for popularity, gigs, style, and of course, record sales. But to Kings of the Sun, it's the live scene that appeals most.
We're very proud of what we are, you know, but
it's like overkill. You always like struggle for your own identity somehow.
Where you get to the stage where does it matter if you're any different or anything? You may as well all be singing the same songs and all be looking the same, and the same people that are attracted to that all come along and pay their $25 a ticket and see it all. It doesn't really matter if you're trying to do something different or whatever. That's what scares me, the fact that the individualism gets crushed by, you know, radio and everything, where if you don't have 1,000 lights behind you and, you know, posing and or whatever the cliche of rock and roll is, then you won't get played on MTV and things like that. That's what hasn't happened in Australia. That's happening over here. It scares. I just can't. You know, where does a band like who, you know,
or even U2, how did they even get through?
Yeah, a band like U2, how you can't ever imagine them coming up again. You know, it's like they slip through a period, through a door that people didn't even know was open. It's just, that's what it is. But that's what scares me about us, because I know we're not like that. We're not, you know, we haven't got the tattoos and the whole bit and the heavy image thing, and we are very, very down to earth, and we do actually love we do love the music, and we do love playing live, and we've always been that style of band, and just whether people can see the difference in us and say, you know, I won't even mention any names, but whoever, you know, Twisted Sister or whoever, it's just, I hope they can still see it. Something's happening over here. There's a certain flavour, and everyone goes for that flavour. You're like coming out of the late 80s, like you had the Guns N' Roses thing with the tattoos and cowboy boots, and that, love the glam band thing, Poison and Motley Crue and all that. A lot of bands tend to go for that style, where in Australia I think just bands just tend to
you get to see a bit of everything.
Be a lot more, you know, diverse. Just different band, Midnight Oil to Crowded House and bands like that, and then us. I mean, it's just there's no certain way to be successful, but over here there's like a code. Actually, if you're bland enough to jump into that mould, then you will, and you stay there long enough, you will be successful.
Hey, punk, go out and get yourself some black leather, black leather. Hey, tough, you can't get enough of black leather, black leather.
Even though Kings of the Sun's attitude's pretty different to American acts, they still hold a lot of respect.
People are attracted to it, and I'm not saying that they like the honesty, but they are attracted to it, and they know where they stand with you, so they'll always be able to get on the phone and say, do you want to do this, do you want to do that, and we can say yes or no, you know, not talk about it for half an hour and still not have an answer. Just so, you know, and we as I say, we couldn't be. Yeah, people, if you're natural, what more can people expect from you, you know?
Honesty.
No matter what trip they're into. If you just remain yourself, then they're always got to eventually come around and come back to you. So people like it. I really believe that.
Their new album, Full Frontal Attack, is about to be released in Australia, and it offers a change in substance and style to their first release.
This came, well, it's been 2 years since our first record, and we've been through a lot since then, and I just think we've been around the world and seen a lot of things, and a lot of, you know, a lot of your values and things change, and it's just we feel like, I think you got to, you know, if no one's going to find you whispering, you've got to like shout a little more, and we made a record that's a lot more
brash,
a lot more us, because there's been a bit of a character change.
So what do we expect from the new video?
What are you about to see?
No way. I won't do it.
Yeah!
Very good to think of us.
All right, there you go. That's a big introduction to Drop the Gun.
Oh, there you go. Goodness me, that shocked the locals. Drop the Gun, Kings of the Sun.